People are dead after a fiery crash involving a motorcycle and an SUV. A 20-year-old named Malachi was identified as the victim driving the motorcycle. The names of the 4 people in the SUV have not been released. A man who knew Malachi well said he left church just moments before the crash.
And I happened to glance over that way because you couldn't miss it, all the lights, and one of the ladies said, "Don't go that way, though. It's a really bad accident." And I started walking towards my truck, and I turned and I looked, and I noticed his bike was gone.
Hello again, everyone. I'm Chris Safati.
And I'm Lois Tomey. This happened late last night on US 41 in Estero. Wink News reporter Michael Hudak joins us live. And Michael, what do we know about the victims?
We have learned in the last 2 to 3 hours that the 4 people that crashed in the other SUV, the other vehicle that was involved in this, were 4 women who were friends and at one point neighbors at the Copperleaf Golf Community about 9 minutes from here. As we broke on Wink News at 3 o'clock, the 5th person, Malachi Parker, he was an aviation student, an aspiring artist, and he was leaving church on a Wednesday night when his friend said goodbye to him, not knowing it would be the last time they ever saw him. If you want to know what kind of person Malachi Parker was,
He touched more people than so many people would even realize.
all you need to hear is the emotion in his friend's voice.
He was a light in so many lives, a very bright light, and he will be missed.
Kevin Eddy met Malachi Parker at church, the last place he went before he died.
I started walking towards my truck, and I turned and I looked, and I noticed his bike was gone.
Parker, who was leaving church, began riding north on South Tamiami Trail when FHP says an SUV turned in front of the motorcycle. He crashed into the side of the SUV, sparking a violent, fiery, horrific scene. Caught on camera from the ground and from the air. Malachi's motorcycle helmet lying on the ground. That's when Kevin Eddy tried to text Malachi.
After the message, I followed it up with, "Hey, message me back." And I wrote, "Please." And then I just wrote, "Are you okay?" And then I messaged one of the guys from the church, and I said, "What time did Malachi leave last night?" And he told me Malachi was in the accident. I'm 56, and he could hold any conversation with anybody in that house. And I was blessed to know him, and I'm a better person.
It is so hard not to tear up yourself when you hear that poor man talk about his friend that will be missed so much. The general manager of the Copperleaf Golf Community telling Wink News exclusively that those 4 women were friends, and he's known the 4 ladies for years. He was actually hired by one of those women's husband. For more on that, we go to Wink News reporter Liz Byro. Liz, it's been a tough day in that community.
A very tough day. The general manager told me they heard the tragic news this morning and they immediately lowered this flag to half staff. Now, that general manager, he knew all 4 women for 20 plus years, 3 of them still living in the neighborhood, and the other one used to call this place home. GM David Dorr-Smith told me she was in town visiting her 3 friends and the neighborhood as she always does this time of year. Not only did that woman's husband hire him, but the couple was instrumental in establishing the club and the community. He says Copperleaf united the friends. They loved this neighborhood and each other. Dorr-Smith got to catch up with all 4 friends at a neighborhood event this week. He will always remember them that way.
I was fortunate enough to have sat with them all on Monday at a table, just sharing stories, and I'll never forget it. You know, it's one of my fun memories that I'll always keep. The friendship amongst the 4, I mean, there was a reason that they were together. They had just been out socializing at a bingo event. I would say that they were inseparable. They'd been on a boat event the day before. They were just amazing friends, and they respected each other and cared for each other the whole time.
This flag will stay at half staff for the time being, and I'm told the hugs today were raw and emotional. New at 7, how the neighborhood is wrapping their arms around each other tonight. Live in Estero, Liz Byro, Wink News.